and we had some big news in Detroit basketball.
I like Monty as a coach and then what he could do for Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey's game. Monty Williams has ties to Troy Weaver because remember, Monty was an assistant in OKC when Troy Weaver was there.
They're going for winning and not tanking.
He's for sure top 20, probably flirting with top 15 already. Who's a guy who like you just want to root for more than Jimmy Butler?
Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights. I'm Nicholas Koloff. Find me at the Tailgate Wins on YouTube, and I'm joined by Chris Platty. What up, Chris?
Yes, sir, man. I'm happy to do this again. These are fun.
Running it back. And we had some big news in Detroit basketball.
Literally right now, as we're recording this.
As we were recording this, Monty Williams got offered $50 million for 5 years or 6 at 60.
A stupid bag.
Stupid bag. First reactions to just Monty. We are really fighting to try to get this guy.
Yeah, I really like this, man. Like, I like Monty as a coach. I think he's a better coaching candidate than the two finalists, which are Kevin Ali and Charles Lee at this point. And I just like how this is happening too, because you got to think about it. Right now, this would put him, if you just divide it as simple as $10 million a year, that would put him as the second highest paid coach in the NBA behind only Greg Popovich. And the reason I like that is because there is no salary cap when it comes to coaches. So truthfully, these owners can pay these governors, now is actually the term. Wow. These governors can pay these coaches whatever they want because there's no restrictions, there's no salary cap like there is when it comes to the rosters. So I like it. You know, it shows that Tom Gores is aggressive, and this is in his DNA. When Stan Van Gundy was getting recruited by Golden State, he upped the offer and he offered him the executive role. Now that didn't work out, but again, you look at, he's willing to do these things. And so my big thing that I said on the heavyweights all the time was that I was concerned that he was overstepping Troy. But then an article, shout out to James Edwards of The Athletic, and I believe it was Shams was also collaborating with this intel. They said that Troy Weaver and the entire Pistons organization is on board with getting Monty Williams. And Monty Williams has ties to Troy Weaver because remember, Monty was an assistant in OKC when Troy Weaver was there. So that makes me feel good that Tom Gores isn't necessarily overstepping Troy Weaver and saying, hey, forget who you like. This is who I want. He's just, everybody's on board with this. And if everybody's on board with this, this is a great thing. And I hope it really does happen. I think Monty Williams would be a great fit. You know, you talk about Devin Booker and what he did for Devin Booker's game, and then what he could do for Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey's game. And then on top of that, you look at Chris Paul, who's one of the smartest basketball minds ever, calling Monty Williams a genius.
Wow.
So I think this is a good guy, and this would be on brand with Tom Gores. Again, he hired former Coach of the Year Stan Van Gundy. He hired former Coach of the Year Dwayne Casey, who, like Monty, wanted to take a year off, but then Tom Gores gave him that offer you couldn't refuse.
Gave him the bag. Hopefully,
you can't be mad at it.
Yeah, this is Monty Williams. For me, this is the Pistons going for it. They're going for winning and not tanking, which is the biggest #1 priority for me. And you hit the nail on the head there with the development for Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey, those being the staples of this rebuild. We know what happened in the lottery. We didn't get that top 3 prospect. So you have to do with your two guys right by them and give them the best chance to be successful. And I believe Monty Williams truly gives that to them.
And you know, he had the little issues with DeAndre Ayton, but that was all because of effort. Yeah. And everything we know of Jalen Duren so far is that he is a very high effort level player. Yeah. So I feel like
elite energy guy.
I feel like Monty will be great for even Jalen. Will be great for even Jalen Duren too, because he's like, look, if he makes these guards better, that's going to make the bigs' life easier at the end of the day. So I think it's a home run. It's a can't miss. You know, and you love the effort even if it doesn't work out. But I am hoping he does sign that contract with Detroit. Yeah. I'd love to see it.
I would love to see it as well. And speaking of hoops, we finally have our NBA Finals matchup, and it is the Denver Nuggets versus the Miami Heat. This one is not the Lakers Celtics everyone wanted, but I am excited about this finals with the Jokic versus the Jimmy Butler finals. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, man. This is the finals I wanted. Like, I know everybody wanted the Boston LA for history, and these Boston and LA teams just didn't match up to me. Like, I wouldn't find that series interesting. This is a series I wanted because, truthfully, whoever wins this series, I am very happy that either Jimmy Butler is getting his first ring or Jokic is getting his first ring. These are two big players in NBA history, particularly Jokic, because Jokic was a two-time, almost three-time MVP back-to-back.
Debatably.
I mean, it looks like it now, but this regular season, Joel Embiid did have a better season. I voted for Embiid. I voted for Embiid first.
Gotcha.
So I think, but I wouldn't have been mad at anybody voting Jokic. It was completely plausible. I just think when they took that foot off the gas for that last month, it kind of costed them the MVP. But Jokic would have been a two-time MVP with no championship ring. That's currently what he is. And that one ring, even if he never wins another, but Denver's roster is set up very well. I think they're going to be a contender for a while. But even if he never wins another and he just gets this one, completely validates his career. And all of a sudden, you're talking about a top 17 guy. Like, he's for sure top 20, probably flirting with top 15 already. 2 MVPs plus a ring. That puts you already, you're with Hakeem. You know what I mean? Like, you're with those level of players. And so, you know, this is big. And then if Jimmy Butler gets one, I mean, dude, who's a guy who, like, you just want to root for more than Jimmy Butler?
Yeah, no doubt about it.
The dude is just a straight dog on the court and is carrying a team that we all agree should not be in the NBA Finals.
Not a chance.
So
that's
awesome. I'm happy for either one, man. I think Denver's going to win this series for sure, but I also could see a world in which Miami makes it a little tight, but I don't see it going past 5 games. I was
just going to say in my notes right here, I got 5 games Denver. A big reason for that is because Jokic has 30 pounds on Bam Adebayo, and I think he's going to just be able to get wherever he wants, especially with his back down. It's like old school, like, and his crazy little hooks he has. Like, Joker will not be stopped by Miami Heat, and I think the Jimmy Butler great story, which has been, is finally going to run out of steam because of the other players, role players on his team in the biggest stage. I think that's where it doesn't get done. But so for your prediction, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking Nuggets in 5, and I agree with a lot of what you said. I agree with everything what you said. And the one thing that makes me go Denver over Miami too is when you look at that Boston series, and every single game, especially the games that Miami won, had stretches where they were ugly on both sides. Neither side could hit a shot. And that's what makes this Denver team so lethal, is that they don't allow you to play ugly. That's the beauty of Nikola Jokic. Like, the Lakers tried to do it last round with the Nuggets. They tried to make those games ugly. They tried to make them low score and dirty. But Jokic, he's so good offensively that you're not going to go 3 plays in a row when Jokic is in without a good look. Like, he's going to either create a good look for himself or for others every single time down the floor. And when you're creating good looks every single time, then your offense is never really, it could go through moments where it gets stale and stagnant, but that's not going to last because you're going to keep getting good looks. Boston, Miami, there were times when Jaylen Brown would just bring the ball up and shoot a ill-advised jumper, or Tatum would do the same, or Jimmy would do the same. And that's what Denver doesn't do. Denver makes sure they get a good shot every single time down the floor. So yes, there are concerns defensively, but the fact is Jimmy Butler and this Miami defense, as good of a coach as Spoelstra is, he has not faced an offense of this caliber that is going to generate good shots every single time. They're not going to allow it to get ugly. So that's why I like Denver.
Yeah, I mean, everything you said there was just great. Jokic versus Jimmy Butler. I'm fired up. This is going to be a great NBA Finals matchup. Hopefully, Monty Williams to Detroit. You know that. I'm the Tailgate Wins. Find me on YouTube.
Chris Platty on the Woodward Heavyweights, live every day, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. And I also got my own YouTube channel, Chris Platty, as well. And the podcast, Strictly Hip Hop and Strictly Hoop Talk. And the Wave with Imperial Media TV. I'm a lot of places. So the Instagram is the best way to follow me because that's where I plug everything. So Instagram and Twitter at Real Chris Platty. And I enjoy these, man. I enjoy these.
Awesome. We'll run it back in next week.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Peace out.